everyone, Diane here, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a painting based on something from this book, Modern Watercolor by Kristin van Leuven, who is another young artist who's produced this guide to how to learn to paint. It's an ideal book for beginners, and if you want to see a really good rundown on this book and go through it page by page without actually committing to purchasing it, take a look at Art Book Nook, where Kay, who is a YouTube pal of mine, goes through it and explains to you exactly what you'll find inside here. I, meanwhile, have got my copy here in front of me, and I've been thinking to myself, I'm not quite sure which one to show you myself painting, but a lot of the instructions that she's got in here are quite, you could say, sketchy, in the sense of she doesn't go into a lot of detail. I mean, we just did a video based on a painting by Hannah Pickerel, who her instruction book is very detailed, step by step, absolutely everything. You can follow it really and expect a result. This is much more loose, much more up to you to kind of fill in the gaps kind of thing, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is different. So I was thinking, and some of the things in here, there aren't really any instructions at all. But for example, there's this wreath, and I thought if I started to do this, then I know that I would go off topic. I would start with the leaves, and before I knew where I was, I would be doing my own thing. So I wouldn't be capable of actually reproducing this, or any of them actually. I think I would probably go off-piste, so to speak. So I don't know. I'm still I've been thinking about this and thinking about this and thinking about this, and it's like, what shall I do? Should I show you how to paint this one, because this picture is in here, but there's nothing about it, or should I go to the back and look at some of the animals and things? And I'm like, yeah, but no, I don't think I'm going to do that. Yes, so what shall I do? What shall I do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something that I often do with a book when I can't make up my mind. I'm going to let chance and haphazardness step in and help me to decide. So I'm going to flick through the book 3 times like that, and then I'm just going to stop in a random place and paint whatever is on that oh gosh. Masking fluid. Right, okay. I'm committed. I tell you what I want to do today. I want to paint something slightly autumnal, and I really don't want to use masking fluid. So sorry, that didn't work. Oh dear. Now what shall I do? Okay, I'm going to do this. Have courage and be kind. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have courage, and I'm going to try to be kind, and we're going to use this as a starting point and see what happens. I have a funny feeling I'm going to put that on my book stand. I have a funny feeling we're going to go a long way off-piste. But I'm going to use this watercolor paper, which is Paul Rubens. It's a 100% cotton. It says hot pressed, but it's not shiny or smooth. It's kind of halfway between hot and cold, I would have said, but we'll see how it reacts when I start to paint on it. It might not be like that at all. And I'm going to use a round brush. This is a size 6 or something like that. I think this is an ordinary round brush. I've been trying out several brushes this morning to see which one gave me the best result when I tried to do some writing. All right, what did I do with it? I had several examples of that here. Where did I put them? Oh, here's one. Yeah, that's it. This is it. I was just trying to do some writing like it is in the book. It's harder than you think. And depending on the brush that you use, it comes out differently. This is a square-ended brush, flat brush. That was what I got when I used this brush, like this, and like italic sort of thing. This one I thought would work, which is a filbert shape, rounded edge, and that didn't work at all. That gave me this, which is not interesting. This one is too small, didn't hold enough paint. This one also didn't really work very well, although it's very similar to that. So I ended up with this one, which, as I say, is about size 6 or 7 round synthetic brush, and I think it's probably very similar to a Princeton Aqua Elite. This is actually a Craftmo one, but it's not available. You can't purchase it. So if we're going to do this wreath, first thing we need to do, she doesn't have any instructions for that, none at all. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw an oval. And this wreath, if you want to call it a wreath, this border surrounding is ideal if you're going to give somebody a card, you know, a gift card or something, or just a nice message to hang on the wall. Now I'm going to go and get my paints. And just recently I've been using a lot of Michael Harding, but today I think I'm going to go back a little bit to the Kuretake, and the main reason for that, I like the Kuretake paints. I don't have a problem with them. Somebody said the other day that they couldn't get them to blend, and I don't know why that would be, unless it was just simply because they weren't using enough water. I can't think of any other reason off the top of my head why that would happen, that it would be a problem to make them blend. I've never had that problem. I'm looking at this. This is the nice mess in the middle. Let's get some water and give it a spray. Water, where are you, water? There we are. Just to wake them all up. So we go round. So I'm missing here. I don't know what that one was. It must be in that set. I'll tell you what. Oh yeah, this is quinacridone gold, which doesn't exist in the Kuretake sets. So I put that one there because that was empty. So I reused that. Yeah, so you could use either this set if you've got it for this painting that I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. You could use this set. And I'll just spray the centre here because I'll give that a bit of a wipe because it looks a bit dirty in the sense of it's a bit kind of greyish. And depending on what I was going to be painting, that might be ideal. I might not want to clean that, but you know, like, there are no rules in painting. You just have to do whatever it is that's appropriate at the time. And it's like life, really. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, as a famous Beatle once said. Don't know if he invented that statement. It might have come from his guru, I suppose. Yeah, no, so if you did it with these colours, I'm going to take this one out here and put that here. That might be handy for this painting, I think. It would come out brighter. It would be more vibrant. But I'm going to put that over here out the way, and I'm going to use the Art Nouveau set. So we'll push that over there a bit. You can see most of the paints like that, I think. It's quite a nice size. This is obviously not the way the Art Nouveau set comes. It comes in a box, a small rectangular box with no mixing area attached. So when you buy those paints, when you buy the Kuretake paints, as Emma Lefebvre said the other day, she didn't like these paints because they don't come with a palette. And there's somebody else then replied to her and said, oh yeah, but you can just use any palette you've got, you know, and a white plate would do, which is absolutely true. For example, most people have got an old school dinner plate. If they're English, you're bound to have one of these lurking around somewhere in your house. Perfect palette. Doesn't have to be any more sophisticated or expensive than that. And you definitely don't need one to come with the paints. Every time you buy a set of paints, you don't need a new palette. You'd have to buy a bigger house. Anyway, somebody made a comment on one of my videos the other day, saying that all I ever do is put people down or something like that. I don't think that's entirely fair. I said, well, why don't you go and watch somebody else then? Because I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying what I think. I'm allowed, aren't I? Isn't she putting me down if she tells me that I'm not allowed to say what I think? So anyway, I told her to go away. Wouldn't you do the same thing? Wouldn't you say, no, go away. Don't interfere with my life. Don't upset me. I seem to have, before I've even started, got some interfering paint on there. So I'm just going to wash that off. It won't show too much, I hope. And I'm going to use this brush for the wording, if I put the wording in the middle. And I'm going to use a bigger brush for the leaves because they are quite big. And this is a Princeton Aqua Elite. I think I'm going to use that. Now, let's just have another look at the picture. What she's done here. I assume, what do I assume? I assume she did the flowers first or the leaves? I think probably I would be inclined to do the flowers. So what we'll do is we will put in some pink blobs, spaced irregularly in 4 places going round. Then we'll put in some yellow blobs in between, and then we'll put the leaves in. And so we'll do that, I think, and we'll see what happens. And I am pretty sure it won't turn out the same as hers, but that's fine. Hers is very pretty. I've got a problem with that. I'm not putting anyone down. So I did do an oval, which gives me a guideline. I'm not sure if you can see that, but so I'm going to go for pink. And I tell you what, actually, having said that I'm going to use Kuretake paints, I'm going to just quickly grab my shell pink from Holbein. And I think I might also take out that colour too from Holbein. There's nothing to stop you from mixing paints, mixing brands, I mean. It's not ever going to be a problem. They won't fight on the paper. So that is shell pink, which is a nice pink that you can manipulate a little bit by adding other pinks to it. And this one is a relatively opaque colour called jaune brilliant, which is not yellow. Jaune means yellow in French, but it's not really. It's just cream. Okay, so let's get started. Pink, let's mix up some pink. Let's start with that as our base, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of this colour into it. I'm not going to bother to tell you what the colours are, but it's this one here, which, and then I'm going to just paint a loose flower like that. And then I'm going to add something a little bit more bluish, and we'll put another one over here. And we do half of it like that. Then we'll wash off our brush and allow the second petal to just flow in. That's one way of doing it. And then I'm going to pick up a bit of that pink, a little more orangey, and we'll pop that down here. And then maybe we need, there's not much in the way of yellow here, is there? But I'm going to just very, very slightly tint that and make that one something like that. Okay, and now if we're going to do yellow, I'm sort of stuck here because I don't actually have a yellow here. I'm going to have to go to my other set. I hadn't realised we don't have a yellow. So I've got this one here, which is lemon yellow. I'll just give that a wash. Get rid of that green. I'm actually dipping it right into my water pot. Make it clean. Something to bear in mind when you are doing a painting from a book is that nowadays, if it's a new book, to bear in mind that chances are the colour that's on the paper is not necessarily the colour that the person painted, okay? Because most printing nowadays is done with colour correction. It's a bit like, I'm just going to put some pink in the bottom of these flowers. It's like music. It's all pitch corrected and not at all the original, or what is the original, I'd like to know. So now I've got my flowers there, and I'm going to make this one a bit bigger. And this is, like I said, this is sort of hot press paper, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out. We'll see. And now I'm going to start with some leaves. So I'm just going to pick up some random greens, perhaps with a little bit of jaune brilliant, and I'm just going to go around dropping in leaf shapes and building up the whole thing. We just keep them all nice and big. I think this is one that I'm personally going to want to, I think she might have used these colours, because my colours are coming out very similar to hers. I'm not putting them necessarily in the same places, but I might want to do some line work on this once I've put as many flowers in as I want. I don't know, I might not. Let's see. But just, put them in loosely, build them up, and then when we've got the first layer, then we can, I don't like that colour. That's not good. Let's try this one. We can go back to the flowers and do some little details. Yeah, that's quite a nice green, that one, isn't it? Okay. So that's what we have so far. And let's have a look at that compared to the one I'm trying to copy. Okay, so it's not bad, is it? Not far off. And like I say, it's a good possibility that this was colour corrected in some way before it went through the printing press, to give it a slightly different hue. But I just think that that's probably what most people do to most of their paintings now. And in fact, even we do on our videos, we have to colour correct because the camera is doing its best, but can't always get it right, can it? I'm just thinking I probably could do with a little bit more yellow here, or maybe pink. Let's put a little bit of pink in there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to drop into the still slightly wet flowers a bit more pink. And I'm going to literally go to my other set to get some pink, which is a brighter pink, but I only want a little bit. But I do want, this is quinacridone, I think. Okay, and then I'm going to dry it in a sec. Yeah, I'm going to dry it now with a hairdryer. So I think that's probably more or less dry. And so now I want to enhance some of the leaves with a bit more green. I'm going to put in some light turquoise in a few places. And then I'm going to go back to the green that I've already done and make some of them a little bit darker and repair some that got a bit confused about the meaning of life. And then I'm going to put in, not quite like that, that's too dark. That's too dark. Let's put in a few veins in some of them. I'm going to dab them out because I think they're too strong. I think they probably only need to be a few of them too. Yeah, only a few, and I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. And then I'm following what she's done there, and in the centers, she's got some which look like they might be kind of quinacridone gold mixed with maybe sort of burnt sienna, something like that. And that's in some of these yellow ones, so we could put some. I think probably she's got slightly darker brown. I think. Oh. Let's see. Go to my other set now and just grab the brown raw umber. That's the thing with the Art Nouveau set. It's a bit sketchy on the dark colours. So we're just going to put a few centres in some of these flowers. Somehow that kind of makes them read as flowers, doesn't it? And then I think she's used the same colour pretty much for the pink ones. So we'll do that, and then maybe a little bit darker in places. Just let your brush kind of dance around a bit. Don't try too hard. The less hard you try, I always find the less hard you try, the better. I think that is a general rule of life from my point of view. When I try hard, I usually fail. I used to find that at school. You know, the exams that I worked hard for, I did worst at. It's quite strange. Never have understood that. Didn't work like that for my daughter. She was one of those people that could study and succeed. And for me, if I studied, I did worse. I don't understand that at all. But that was the way it was. Okay, so now let's compare mine with Kristin's. Hers has definitely got a much more blue tint to it on the camera, although looking at it in real life, that is less so. So anyway, I think we've got pretty close. And I'm going to just push that in there. I'm going to write a couple of words in the middle, she said, with fear and trepidation. The Yes, I'm not sure what I'm going to say, but it's not going to be much because there isn't very much space. But I'll take a pencil and I think I want to write be free, something like that. Having written that, just to check that there's enough space, I'm going to use my kneaded eraser to basically lift most of that graphite out. So I'll be able to see roughly where I put my words. And then I'm going to use this brush here, which, as I said, I had tried and which I seem to think was reasonable. And I'm going to do the wording in dark green, but I'm going to try it out first on a piece of paper. So how am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to practice. It's always a good idea to practice because you'll probably get it wrong. B. I don't know how to do the R. I probably ought to do it that way. Be free. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. If I was a real coward, I would do it on a piece of paper and then stick it in the middle, wouldn't I? But I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave, I think. Okay, so let's say okay, now a very strange thing happened. As I was just about to write my words in the center there, the alarm went off on the phone and it stopped the video and I didn't realize it. So I'm afraid I don't have any record of me writing "Fear Not" on the painting, but I did. And anyway, you did see me struggling with this in any case, so you know how hard it is. But that's the absolute truth. The camera turned itself off. So anyway, I've come back now to say goodbye, and I hope you enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun, and thank you to Kristin for letting me, well, she doesn't know about this, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind, show you how to do one of the pictures in her book. And if you enjoyed it, please give us a like and subscribe and turn on notifications. And don't forget that we have Patreon for you to belong to, where we have 2 exclusives every month. And we have also our Facebook membership and all sorts of things. So have a look in the description below and you'll find there also information about the things that we used in this video and where to get them and so on and so forth. So have fun, everyone. Have a go at this. Make a good card to give to somebody if you made it a bit smaller. And I'll see you again soon. So I'll say bye-bye for now and see you again soon. So bye-bye. Bye-bye from Andy Pandy. Bye now, everybody. Bye-bye.